No, we're online. And a happy Championship Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Day 5 of the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championships. When we get done today, we'll know who's exactly going from the Northwest region to go play for the American Legion World Series title back in South Carolina. But still a lot of baseball to be played between now and then. The first game coming up this morning between the Rocky Mountain Lobos from Fort Collins, Colorado, as they'll go up against the Cheyenne Post Sixers. That game coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get to our Big Country Properties pregame show brought to you by Bobby Dalzall. We'll make it happen. That's all as we continue. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championships brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group in Gillette. And you're listening on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
Get back to feeling your best with Evanston Regional Hospital Physical Therapy. If you find yourself struggling with pain or limited mobility in your everyday life, your recovery starts here. With a personalized treatment plan just for you, our experienced physical therapists will help you every step of the way to reach your goals and get back to doing what you love. Call us today to schedule an appointment. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
The perfect mix of different ingredients can create the most delicious creation. Successful people have the ability to bring many different individuals together who work, collaborate, show kindness, use problem-solving skills, and include each individual's talents and gifts to create new inventions, compose beautiful music, and find ways to make the world a better place. At Uintah County School District Number 1, we work together every day to promote student success. Uintah County School District Number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Fresh and flavorful ingredients are what makes the best restaurants great. At El Paso All-American and Mexican Restaurant, each entree is prepared with only the freshest and tastiest ingredients. The menu includes everything from tacos to steak, fresh fruit waffles to omelets, and mouth-watering burgers to sandwiches. Come in and enjoy a meal today at the new El Paso All-American and Mexican Restaurant inside the Log Cabin on Bear River Drive.
And welcome back to the Big Properties pregame show, brought to you by Bobby Dalzall. It's time for our scene set, brought to you by El Paso All-American Mexican and American Restaurant in Evanston. As Aaron Poling joins me here for the broadcast here this afternoon. And Aaron, as we get ready for this game, one team moves on to play for the championship and the other team goes home.
Yeah, it's do or die, but both these teams, they've been in this situation before, as they had to pick up a couple of wins just to get to this point, as they've played with their backs against the wall for the latter part of the week. I mean, they're going to have to do it the hard way if they want to win the championship and move on to the World Series, but they have an opportunity to do so, and that's the most important thing. Both of our teams are 2-1. They both lost their second game in this tournament. For the visiting team today in Rocky Mountain, they beat Eagle River 6-0. They lost to Gillette and then knocked off Portland yesterday to advance to this game. Yeah, it was a good bounce-back win there against Portland, as I was a game that I was kind of anticipating to be a really good one, and it was pretty decent. But it's a good job by them staying focused, because after losing to Gillette, it could have unraveled to them. It was a pretty crazy atmosphere throughout the tournament, and playing this Gillette team here in Gillette, you're getting everything that Gillette has from the crowd. So to be able to bounce back from that and get ready for today is huge for this Colorado team. For the Cheyenne Sixers, they beat Helena 7-1. They lost to Pocatello in a close game 7-6, and then bounced back and beat Gillette yesterday in a very interesting game. They jumped out and they scored 8 runs in the first inning and really kind of ran away from there. Yeah, it's human nature to try to be overly aggressive and go out and try to take something from the other team. But the Sixers came out with a good approach. Gillette last night in that game, in the first inning, they got away from them on the mound. They couldn't find the zone. They walked a bunch of players, and the Sixers were happy to oblige and just take that and continue to pass the baton. And I think that's kind of the key for the Sixers team, is to stay within yourself. You have 9 guys in your lineup who are really good hitters. If you continue to keep passing the baton and trusting each other, the Sixers are going to be successful today. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll look at the scene set for today's game, including the pitching matchup. We'll do all that as we continue. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette. And you're listening on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Napa know-how isn't just for guys like this.
Power tools.
Every driver deserves quality parts.
Practical and cool.
So you can do it yourself with Napa Auto Parts or get it done for you at a Napa Auto Care Center. Which means Napa know-how is for you, karaoke car lady. And never popped a hood guy?
I can pop a hood.
You too, Mr. Park a mile away. Oh yeah. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Covalos, your one-stop farm and auto shop.
Helping young people grow into productive adults is like putting a puzzle together. Each aspect of life is equal to one puzzle piece. Restful sleep, a healthy breakfast, a positive experience at home before school sets the tone for the whole day. Positive student interaction with teachers, district staff, coaches, and peers all add to the puzzle. At Uinta County School District Number 6, we work hard to make each puzzle piece meaningful and powerful for every student. By working together, we can help every student grow into a masterpiece. It's a great day to be an Eagle.
Hey there, I'm Jake Major, your local Medicare and insurance benefits advisor for the Bullock Agency of Wyoming. With over 25 years of experience protecting families in rural America, we understand the importance of having affordable insurance coverage. Whether you're searching for extra coverage or looking to understand and switch your Medicare options, I can help you find a range of top-rated insurance companies and tailor-made packages based on your needs. Call me, Jake Major, today at 307-209-4685 and let's discuss your insurance options. We're the Bullock Agency of Wyoming when benefits matter.
Our pitching matchup for this afternoon will feature Ross Frank on the mound for Rocky Mountain, making his second appearance of the tournament here in Gillette. And for Cheyenne, they'll go with Bradley Feeser on the mound today. And Aaron, what kind of things do we need to look for as far as keys for each team to be successful today?
Starting pitching is going to be huge as both teams are throwing guys that they think are probably their best, as Ross Frank went 4 2/3 inning pitch his first time, was pulled before the end of the game, but he struck out 9 in that contest as Bradley Feeser was roughed up a bit by the Pocatello Running Rebels as he went 3 2/3, allowed 4 earned runs. Frank didn't allow a run, only allowed the 1 hit, so it's going to really come down to starting pitching, and pitching is really what's been key the most in this tournament, as you've been saving arms, but when teams have been able to throw their best players, we've really seen some real great pitching performances.
Each team has had one really hot hitter in the lineup. Phoenix West is hitting over 400 for Fort Collins. In fact, they have 4 guys hitting 400 or better in the lineup. Corey Williams hitting 462 for Cheyenne. Has 4 extra base hits among his 6 hits total in the tournament so far. So keeping guys on base, off base rather, throwing strikes, and not letting those free passes go as far as pit batters and walks. That's what we saw Cheyenne get a big gift last night in the first inning from Gillette. Helped them score those 8 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've been tuned into our broadcast all week, I mean, we've talked about leadoff walks being bad, but, walks in general, allowing teams free passes and not – it really kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth as a team, as you're not forcing guys to really do something to, obviously you have to have a good at-bat to draw a walk, but you're not making them earn their way on base, and that kind of not deflates your team to the point where you can't come back, but it's one of those big things where you kind of just let out a big sigh.
Each team has their leading RBI man in the lineup, has a total of 5. That would be Caden Anderson for Cheyenne and Aiden Nelson for Fort Collins. So you got guys who can come up with men on base, and they can certainly drive them in.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of really good bats in both these lineups, and it's going to be a fun game, and that's why I think starting pitching is one of the keys to this game, is there are hitters that are on fire for both teams. And it's some of them, for the Sixers, it's some of the names that don't get talked about as much. As we mentioned, the Julian Romeros, the Corey Williams, a lot of the talk is about Colter McAnally, rightfully so. He's a very talented player, but it's really been the guys around him that have really carried this team through the tournament.
One programming note, the winner of this game will face Gillette coming up in the championship game. That game, the first pitch, will be scheduled for 45 minutes after this game ends, and we'll have that game as well for you coming up a little bit later on this afternoon. Well, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. It'll be about time to play baseball. We'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch for you as we continue. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group at Gillette, and you're listening on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
I don't know about you. Every time I go to the grocery store, I'm filled with anxiety. Do I have enough money? Meat prices have doubled. How can I ever work on food storage when I can hardly afford food for this week? Wyoming Wild Meats in Lyman is the solution. Weekly specials are posted on Facebook. Beef, pork, chicken for one meal or a mixed order to fill the freezer. You will find quality Gosner cheese and milk products and delicious bread. Because overhead is low, the savings are passed to every customer. Wyoming Wild Meats, offering fresh domestic meats.
Precision, the quality, condition, or fact of being exact and accurate.
Precision is important. Scoring the next point, making the perfect shot, getting the best score. And when you think of your dentist, you want precision to be the first word that comes to mind. That's why patients are so pleased with Dr. McKay Frankum. He provides precision family dentistry at reasonable prices to every patient. Dr. McKay Frankum, call today for an appointment.
Call Dr. McKay Frankum at 789-8910.
It's a great time to check out the digital banking options at Trona Valley Federal Credit Union and skip the trip. Members who enroll in digital banking can make deposits remotely, check bank balances, transfer money between accounts, make loan payments, and use automatic bill pay options. You can even connect Quicken or QuickBooks to your Trona Valley digital banking accounts. Learn how digital banking with Trona Valley Federal Credit Union can make your life simpler. Stop in today. Member NCUA. Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Whether you're looking for strong, high-quality cement for construction, sand and gravel for road base, a cement trough or critter ladder for your livestock, or steel fabrication, including custom towing packages, bumpers, and other vehicle accessories, you always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston. Announcing both teams out onto the field, getting ready for our little pregame festivities as both teams will take part in the reading off of the creed as far as Legion baseball goes. Very interesting points, very important points to teaching these young men quality of life and just not only sportsmanship and relationships with their teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. As you know, this is a very competitive game, and everyone wants to win. There's a lot at stake. Both these guys are, both these teams got to remember that despite what happens, sportsmanship is always a part of the game. You can be competitive, and you can be aggressive, and you can be fired up for your team, but you can also be a sportsman about it too.
I'm going to point out something folks who don't know at home. You're a former Marine, and you know a lot about working as a team and having people's backs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the more important things of a team. If the guy next to you doesn't have your back and you can't rely on him, the team's going to start to slowly fall apart because you're only as good as your weakest link, and your weakest link typically is that guy that won't have anyone's back.
Before anybody writes, I know once a Marine, always a Marine. I take that back. Now, from here at Hladky Memorial, here is our national anthem.
Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. That our flag was still there.
national anthem from here at Hladky Memorial Stadium in Gillette, Wyoming, as we get ready for game number 14 of the tournament, the first of two here today to decide who will represent the Northwest region in the American Legion World Series. We've talked so much about weather the past few days. Not a problem today. Partly cloudy skies, no wind at all, and 70 degrees as we get ready for first pitch. Before we can throw the first pitch, we have to know who's going to be on the field. And with the starting lineups brought to you by Varsity Inc., we're on your team. Here's Aaron Poling.
So the team out of Rocky Mountain, the Lobos, will serve as the visiting team. They're going to line up this way as center fielder Current Lawing leads off. Second baseman Nate Eliason bats in the 2-hole. Phoenix West playing first base, batting third. Christian Wood playing left field does the cleanup. Brady Hall at short bats fifth. Ross Frank, your pitcher, will bat sixth. Aiden Nelson does the catching duties, will be batting seventh. Eric Bierquist will be playing third base, batting eighth. And then right fielder Eric Jacobson will round out the starting lineup for the Lobos. For the Cheyenne Post Sixers, it'll be Mason Tafoya, the third baseman, leading off. Coulter McAnally, the shortstop, bats second. Julian Romero, the left fielder, will bat third. Corey Williams batting fourth, will play right field. Hayden Swain in the 5 spot will play first base. Caden Anderson, the catcher, batting seventh. Landon McAnally will DH, Anderson bats sixth. Landon McAnally bats seventh as the DH. Nolan Horton, the center fielder, will bat eighth. And Cade Coates will bat ninth, playing second base.
Thank you, Aaron. That's your starting lineups brought to you by Varsity Inc. We're on your team. Before we get started, we also want to thank our friends at Signature Real Estate for making these broadcasts possible. We've had a great time here as the tournament will wrap up today, as the winner of this game will face Gillette, the Riders, coming up after 45 minutes after this game is done, and we'll move on from there as everyone will break up and head home. Richer with the experience of being here, and they'll look to come back next year when next year's regional will be held in Billings, Montana.
Yeah, I mean, this is great experience for everyone. I mean, talk about the Riders. They're a young team. Rocky Mountain, I don't know how far they've been in the tournament, as they're probably entering uncharted territory as well.
So we'll go here, top of the first inning. Lobos at the plate as Kerwin Lawing takes the first pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Bradley Feeser on the mound for the Sixers, the 6'7", 255-pound right-hander. Works out of the stretch, even though there's nobody on, comes over the top of the big curveball, over for a strike, and it's 0-2.
That breaking ball is going to be key for him. If he can locate it in the zone and throw it out of the zone when he's ahead, he's going to be a much better pitcher than he was the other day.
Feeser seemed a little off his game the other day against Pocatello. The 0-2 pitch hit in the air to right field. Off the first base side, Swain coming over to have a look, but he's going to run out of room. He went 3 2/3 in the start against Pocatello, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, walked a couple, and struck out 5. That was against that hard-hitting Pocatello team who were eliminated last night. As a pitch swung on and missed. Good fastball, blew it right by him.
That's a good start there for Feeser, as he was able to locate both of his pitches, and that's going to give him confidence on the mound. And if he starts to regain that confidence, look out. He can be a very dominant pitcher.
Nate Eliason will hit second here for the Lobos. He's the second baseman. Eliason hitting .286 so far in the tournament. 4 hits and 14 at-bats. And first pitch from Feeser is a fastball that's up high, ball 1. Outfield straight away, maybe pinch a little bit toward the center of the field for Eliason. Feeser again working out of the stretch, comes right over the top, and that ball whacked to left field. It's going to be in for a hit along the line. Romero's got to go over and get it with a big turn over at first base. Eliason will stay there, and he's on with the first hit of the game.
That's a good piece of hitting there from Eliason. Had a pitch on the inner third, got his hands around the ball, was able to lift it into left field. That's also a great job by the left fielder Romero, getting that ball quickly, holding Eliason to a single. A lot of times when that ball's on the line like that, you could be extra bases.
So here's Phoenix West. West will play first base today. He played third base yesterday. As the first pitch home to West is in the dirt, bounces away, goes to the backstop. Wild pitch will allow Eliason to go to second base.
Oh, that wild pitch allows a runner to move into scoring position for the hottest hitter in this lineup.
Interesting story about West. He was originally penciled in as the starting pitcher yesterday for the Lobos. Was playing catch, felt a little twinge in his shoulder before the rain delay. And when we finally got back on the field in the rain delay, they had made a change. They put him at third base and put somebody else in to pitch as the pitch over for a strike.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a hiccup with his throwing arm and nothing too serious. You'd really hate to see a guy go down with a shoulder injury right now.
They moved Brady Hall in to make the start yesterday going up against Portland. There goes the runner to third. Boy, he's got a big jump. He's going to steal it without a throw.
That's just great base running right there from Eliason. He timed him up, and then he figured the timing up, and as soon as he counted that time, he just took off going.
Count goes to 2-1 with one out as Eliason stands over at third base. Here comes the pitch, ground ball to short. That'll get the run home as the shortstop McAnally has to go to first base.
Yeah, it's just good. A good team at bat there from Phoenix West, not trying to do too much. Understanding the infield was back and that a ground ball gets the job done, puts the Lobos up on top 1-0, and that's exactly what he did there.
Well, they jump out on top. Indeed, 2 outs, nobody on. And now here's Christian Wood. Wood, one of the 3 guys on the Lobos team hitting 400 or better in the tournament. As he comes in hitting exactly 400 and takes the pitch on the corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. He's hitting 400. Aiden Nelson hitting 400. And as we mentioned in the pregame show, Phoenix West, who just drove in the run, hitting 417. The 0-1. Inside, ball and a strike.
Well, if you're Feezer, you want to try to bounce back here. You allowed 1 run. It happens. A lot of times with a really good pitcher, that is the time to get them, is in that first inning before they completely get settled in. That's what Feezer's looking to do now, is settle in.
Wood has the most hits collectively on the Lobos team, as he has collected a total of 6 hits in the tournament as he takes the 1-1 pitch up high, and it's 2 balls and a strike. 6 hits, has scored a couple of times. He's driven in 4, which is not the highest on the team, and he has 1 extra base hit amongst his 6 collectively. As the 2-1 pitch is high again from Feezer, and he runs the count to 3 balls and a strike.
Well, it's important for both starting pitchers in this game. Try to be as efficient as possible because you have to win 2 today to move on.
Here's the 3-1. Hit in the air off the first base side. It'll go foul and runs the count full, now 3-2.
You might have everybody available, but you could possibly need more arms in the late end of this game or going into the next game. You don't know what happens. You'd like to have as many arms ready to go as possible.
So 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first. And here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. It's going to be sliced along the right field line. Coming up to make the play is Williams and grabs it going away toward the line. 1 run, 1 hit in the inning. No errors and nobody left. So the Lobos break on top as they scratch out a run in the top of the first inning. They lead 1-0. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
At Hi, we're with you is more than just 3 simple words. It encompasses the principles we live by to serve our members and local communities. So if you're looking to keep your banking relationships local with a partner who will always be there for you, look to us. We're Hi. We're Wyoming. We're with you. Visit yhi.org to learn how you can be a part of something bigger today.
Lobos scratch out a run in the top of the first inning. Now we'll go to the bottom of the first as the Cheyenne Post Sixers come up for the first time. It'll be Mason Tafoya, Coulter McAnally, and Julian Romero here in the bottom of inning number 1. So here's Tafoya, the third baseman, and the first pitch to him as it is Ross Frank on the mound for the Lobos. Kind of drops down a little 3/4, comes side action at Tafoya, misses outside, ball 1, same thing, same result, misses outside again, ball 2, it's 2-0.
If there was a little blemish on his start the first time out for Frank, he did walk 2.
Ground ball back up the middle, it's into center field, base hit.
It's a great job there from Tafoya, taking that pitch right back where it came from, gets on base for the meat of this Cheyenne order, and you have to feel great about the Sixers, if you're the Sixers, about trying to respond after that.
For Tafoya, just his third hit of the tournament. He's now 3 for 12. And now here is McAnally. McAnally's hit some balls very hard, but he too has hitting some tough luck as he takes the first pitch for a ball. He's hit a lot of balls right at people, as he has only 3 hits in 16 at-bats at the start of play here today. As that pitch on the corner for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, for as dynamic as this offense has been, but you get these 2 guys at the top going, it could get even more dynamic.
Next pitch again bounces up there, and it goes to 2 balls and a strike.
Good stop by Nelson, keeping that runner over at first.
Speaking of runners at first, Cheyenne, they've stolen 4 out of 5 attempts overall, and Tafoya bouncing around over there, and the next pitch is swung on and missed as McAnally tried to take one to right field and came up empty, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Again, it'll drop down and again hit back through the middle, and the shortstop Hall can't get to it. It's into center field for a hit.
Yeah, McAnally almost got unlucky again there as he had a ground ball back up the middle. It ramped off of the mound, and it lost a lot of speed, but it had just enough to get into center field as here come the Sixers in their offense.
So that'll bring up Julian Romero. Romero, who checks in at the start of play today with 5 hits, and he's been very productive with those 5 hits. 4 of the 5 have gone for extra bases. In fact, he's tied for the team lead for the most extra base hits in the tournament as he takes the first pitch outside, ball 1.
Comes into the game slugging .643 on those 5 hits.
Nobody out, bottom of the first. Cheyenne trailing 1-0. Holding as Frank now comes home and runs it away from the left-handed hitting Romero and missed outside, and it's 2-0.
It's a good job by Romero to get ahead in the count and really build leverage in the count. Now he's got 2 straight pitches where he's ahead to get what he wants.
The 2-0 hit foul back to the screen. It's 2-1. Yesterday, in the first inning of their game, Cheyenne sent 14 men to the plate in the first inning, scored 8 times on only 2 hits. They had 14 free passes onto the base paths during the whole game yesterday between walks and hit batters. The 2-1 shows bunt, pulls the bat back, misses outside, and now 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, off to a much different start today. They already have 2 hits in the contest as the approach has been a little different. Last night they took what they were giving. Today they're being a little more aggressive in the strike zone.
Outfield still straight away. Jacobson fairly shallow with the left-handed hitter at the plate. And the 3-1 pitch hit foul over on the third base side. Coming over to have a look is West, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, that's a real good pitch there by Frank. In on the hands, 3-1. Romero being aggressive and just got jammed right there. It's a good pitch by Ross Frank.
So he's gets the foul out of Romero, but he goes from the frying pan into the fire as now he has to deal with Corey Williams. Williams leads the team with 6 hits during the tournament and checks in hitting .462 as they go back to second base and back there safely is Tafoya.
To go along with that .462, slugging .769, nearly slugging .800 here in the tournament.
Has 4 extra base hits amongst his 6. Now the first pitch to the left-handed hitting right fielder
And it misses outside and low. Ball one ball with no strikes.
You can add on 3 free passes, or actually 4 free passes. He's walked 3 times, been hit by a pitch, as he's been on base quite a bit in this tournament.
Of his 4 extra base hits, all of them have been for doubles, and he's also driven in 4 during the tournament as well. The 1-0. Again, runs it away from him, missed it too far outside, as the Cheyenne team here in the first inning is showing very good recognition of the strike zone. They're not chasing anything off the plate.
Yeah, very disciplined at the plate to go along with the aggressiveness.
2-0 pitch. That one's a little better on the corner, and he hits it foul back into the screen, and it's 2-1.
Thinking back to last night, Williams at the plate was the batter that got the scoring, or got the RBI double to drive in 2 in that first inning.
Still, the right fielder Jacobson quite shallow, especially with the big hitting Williams at the plate. Here's the 2-1. Off speed, he's out in front of it and evens the count at 2-2.
That's a real great pitch there, and a hitter's count goes off speed as Williams out in front.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defense and double play depth pinching up the middle. DeFoya away from first, McAnally at second, or flip those 2 around. DeFoya at second, McAnally at first. And here's the 2-2. Hit in the air to left. Left fielder Wood standing right there, doesn't have to move. Right in his tracks, makes the catch.
Yeah, I'm not sure Williams could throw the ball from home plate out to the left fielder Wood any better, as he didn't move as that ball tailed right back into his chest for out number 2.
So 2 outs, 2 on. And here comes the big first baseman, Hayden Swainson, who leads the team with walks during the tournament. He has been issued a total of 6 free passes in the 3 previous games and takes the pitch over for a strike.
And Dan, you mentioned the patience of this team. Swain was the MVP of the AA state tournament, had a great week, and instead of going out and trying to force it, he's taken what has been given to him, those 6 free passes.
The 0-1. Runners go. Swung on and missed. Throw to third. Not in time. They steal them both.
We've seen that a couple times already today. Teams being super aggressive, trying to get that extra 90 feet, because now you are 90 feet away for Tafoya. Not only that, the go-ahead run moves in the scoring position as well, and that trail runner McAnally.
So they pull off the double steal successfully. Runners now at second and third with 2 outs, but the count 0-2, and Swainson now with a little bit of a disadvantage has to try to put it in play as he hits it foul off the first base side, and it stays at no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's found himself a couple of times in this situation. Those 6 walks haven't just been 4-pitch walks. He's had a couple of them where he's behind 0-2 in the count, been able to battle back with 2 strikes. Does a good job of shortening up that swing and protecting.
Cheyenne now 6 of 7 as far as stolen base attempts for the tournament. Little roller back to the mound. Swainson falls down, so it'll be an easy play back to first. He almost threw it away, but Bergquist able to come off the bag and make the play, keep it from getting into foul territory. So the Lobos kind of dodge a bullet in the first inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave runners at second and at third. 1-0 Rocky Mountain after 1. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group in Gillette, right here on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
I buckle up because there's been too many fatalities around our house where somebody would have survived if they'd been wearing their seatbelt.
I definitely wear my seatbelt to keep him safe. I wear it just for safety.
I buckle up because my mom makes me.
I buckle up to set a good example for my kids and to make sure they stay safe.
Getting home safe to my family.
I buckle up because it keeps me safe.
Go Pugs, buckle up!
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
The perfect mix of different ingredients can create the most delicious creation. Successful people have the ability to bring many different individuals together who work, collaborate, show kindness, use problem-solving skills, and include each individual's talents and gifts to create new inventions, compose beautiful music, and find ways to make the world a better place. At Uintah County School District Number 1, we work together every day to promote student success. Uintah County School District Number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
All right, welcome back. Here we go, top two. As here leading it off for the Lobos from Rocky Mountain is the shortstop, Brady Hall. He'll be followed by Ross Frank and then Aiden Nelson here in the top of the second inning. Freezer comes back, ball rolled foul up along the first base line, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Hall, who comes into the game here today with 3 hits and 8 at-bats officially, hitting .375 for the tournaments. Freezer ready again. Next pitch misses down and in, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Feezer threw 15 pitches in that first inning, as it was a pretty efficient inning through after allowing the 1 run.
A team from Colorado would be no stranger going to the World Series, as they've done it several times. The last to do it was Boulder back in 2004. The last team to collect a win for Colorado at the World Series was back in 1982, as that ball's ripped into left field for a base hit, and Hall leads off the second inning with a hit. Second hit of the game for Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, that's a real great job getting ahead in the count and then getting that pitch that you want, and he handles that one real well, lines it into left field for a base hit.
So, leadoff man aboard. Here's the pitcher, Ross Frank. Frank is 3 for 11 in the tournament. So he checks in, hitting .273 so far. Feezer ready, comes home. First pitch over for a strike. The last team to win a game from Colorado at the American Legion World Series back in '82, that was the team from Grand Junction when they went 3-2 overall in the tournaments at the World Series. Feezer ready again, checks back behind him. They're going to spin and go to first base. Kind of a wild throw, but Swain able to keep it from going into foul territory.
Yeah, I like that from Feezer. Remember back to the first inning, Eliason on base. By the time Feezer had thrown home on that stolen base at third, Eliason was probably about 3/4 of the way there.
Going to spin and go to first base again, and once again Hall plots his back into the bag. Feezer in the first inning so far, although first inning and plus, though he's given up a couple of hits, he looks much sharper than he did in his start against Pocatello. Ready again. Now the 0-1 pitch, as that's fouled off the meat hand of the catcher, Anderson. And the umpire is going to walk the ball out and give Anderson a chance to get the feeling back in the hands. Speaking of the umpires, Pat Zisk is behind the plate. Josh Harwood over at first base today. It's Aldo Mora at second base, and Gary Delgado is the arbiter over at third.
That's one of my favorite things in baseball is that the umpires and the players look out for one another. If you take a foul ball, they take a second to allow you to shake that off because, man, it's tough back there behind the plate between the two spots.
It's a unique relationship between catcher and umpire. 0-2 the count. Feezer ready. Looks behind him a couple of times. He's going to go back over to first again to keep Hall within the distance. Not a big lead over at first base, but Feezer wants to make sure that they don't get off far enough that they could put a play on here in the second inning up by a run. Feezer sets again. Big over-the-top breaking ball. That's rolled foul outside of third and down the line. And it stays at no balls and 2 strikes against Ross Frank.
Yeah, it's kind of funny as a catcher. You go to the plate and there's a call you disagree with. You can't necessarily scream and show up the umpire. He's got to walk back out and squat below him for the next half inning. So there's a lot of tact that comes in between that relationship with the umpire and catcher.
Feezer sets at the belt. Pretty good lead over first base. Hall's not running, and the pitch is up high, 1-2. For a catcher, for the most part, as long as you don't turn around and face the umpire and speak to him within a civil tone, you can converse and question and talk about the call that was made, and he'll let you do that. But don't try to show him up. Again, if they go back over to first base and Hall back to the bag.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game, trying to steal strikes for your guys. It's a weird thing because we talk about having to have a great relationship, but as a catcher, you're also trying to fool the umpire a little bit too.
Outfield swung around toward right field for Frank. Runner goes, and that ball's hit into right field for a base hit. So a hit-and-run single, and that's going to send Hall all the way over to third base. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
That was a perfectly executed hit and run with 2 strikes going to the right side. Lands it into right field as the runner on first, Hall, hits the bag, didn't hesitate all the way to third. He's in standing up.
So it becomes a bigger situation here for Rocky Mountain, not only to extend their 1-run lead, but as they get Aiden Nelson to the plate with runners at the corners. Nelson's the kid leading the team in RBIs in the tournament as he has 5 as he stands at home plate with a runner in scoring position. They go to first base. They want to keep Frank close there, thinking they're going to try to put on another play with runners at the corners. And it's all this time. Nelson still waits at the plate, waiting for a first pitch. Feeser ready again. Holding now comes home. That big over-the-top delivery that he has misses up and in, ball 1.
It's interesting because the Lobos came in 4 for 7 in stolen base attempts in this game. Of course, West one had one earlier, and the runner at Hall, he took off a couple times in that at-bat.
So before we go any farther, we're going to have a visit to the mound as the head man for Cheyenne, Ty Lane, will come out to the mound as he wants to come out and talk to Feeser.
While we have a moment, we'd all like to thank, actually, everyone at My Local Radio, Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette, Wyoming, for sponsoring this tournament and sponsoring us and allowing us to come here and, get to call this fantastic tournament. It's been such a lot of fun. I know we've talked about it quite a bit off air when we've been hanging out with each other after the games that, man, this has been a ton of fun, and without them, none of this is possible. So thank you to Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette, Wyoming.
And thank you, too, to the staff and crew here putting on the tournament, as they have been quite the hosts and made it hospitable and very, very nice and easy for us to come in from an 8-hour drive away to come in and do these games.
Absolutely. Gillette's been awesome for us. Between me and Elon for the 307 Baseball Podcast as well, Gillette seems to always bend over backwards to help us out, and we really appreciate that.
All right, everybody back in their spots. Ball and no strikes here to Nelson, and the pitch home. Fastball swung on and missed.
It's a good bounce back there from Feeser.
Let's see what that meeting might do to the pitch selection here. Feeser was trying to work a lot of guys up and in, or was missing up and in, and that first pitch was down and away for a called strike, the 0-1. Goes down again. That ball swung on and missed, and it's now 1-2.
And whatever the conversation was on the mound, seems that Feeser is taking it to heart as he's come back with 2 straight strikes.
Just a beautiful day, Sunday for baseball here in Gillette, as the weather is blown on and we have a very enjoyable Sunday. Next pitch swung on and missed.
That's a good breaking ball there. Starts about thigh high in the zone and drops right off the table as he gets Nelson to chase.
So maybe it was a little bit about pitch selection as he comes back, throws 3 pitches down in the zone and gets 3 consecutive strikes and picks up his second strikeout of the game. And now with 1 out, here's the third baseman, Eric Bergquist. Feeser sets at the belt, runners away from the first and third, and he goes to first base. And Frank again plots his back into the bag head first.
I like that from Feeser. Trying to keep that double play in order. You get a ground ball here, you could very well be out of this inning.
This is the guy right here who you'd love to get up there because he's struggled at the plate during the whole tournament. He has just 1 hit and 12 at-bats. Little fly ball into left center field. Coming over is the left fielder Romero to make the catch, but it's going to get the run home. As tagging and coming home is Hall, and it's 2-0.
It's a great at-bat there from Bergquist. I mean, like you said, Dan, he struggled pretty mightily in the tournament, coming in, hitting .83, got the collar off of his record last night. But, sacrifice yourself to drive in that run. If you're not going well, you can still do things to help your team win offensively.
Frank stays over at first base. It's 2-0. And with a runner at first, the number 9 hitter is Eric Jacobson. Feeser again sets and comes home, and the pitch is up high, ball one. Jacobson's an interesting story. He's a kid who grew up in Laramie and played baseball in Wyoming until just the last year or two when the family moved to Fort Collins. Now he finds himself playing on the Rocky Mountain Lobos back here in his home state of Wyoming as the pitch is down low, snap throw to first, not in time as Frank back into the bag.
Yeah, so I mean, he's seen these Cheyenne Sixers before. He's probably played against a couple of these guys. He's not probably part of the older group, but he's probably played against some of these kids on this team growing up.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a bit of a reunion for Mr. Jacobson and some of the guys on the opposite side. As Feeser's 2-0 pitch, he is down low, ball 3 balls and no strikes.
Ironically, the Cheyenne Sixers beat that Laramie Rangers group in the semifinals of the AA state tournament in order to make it to the finals.
Feeser back up on top again, sets at the belt, looks back over at first. Not a big lead over there by Frank, and the pitch is over for a strike. It's 2-1.
I really like that take there from Jacobson. 3-0. Obviously, not a lot of guys are going to swing, but if you can make your way on base, you're getting on base for the top of the order as the 9-hole hitter.
Jacobson 3 for 11 with an RBI as that pitch is up high, and he's walked a man again.
And that's a third walk of the tournament for Jacobson, as now it's top of the order, runners in first and second.
First walk given up by Feeser, third base runner of the inning, and now we flip the lineup back over and go back to the top of the order, and Kieran Lawing comes back up. Lawing struck out to open the ball game. He's 0 for 1. Runners at first and second and 2 outs. A run home here in the inning as Rocky Mountain leads it 2-0. Feeser looks back at second base where Frank has a walking lead there, and the pitch is going to be hit in toward right field. But there is the second baseman Coates to come over and make the catch. So they get a run, but they leave 2. 1 run on 2 hits, 2 men left, no errors in the inning, and we're done with an inning and a half. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette, right here on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today, 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Well, 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning as Rocky Mountain posts single runs in both the tops of the first and the second. And as we go to the bottom of the second, it'll be Caden Anderson, Ladden McAnally, and Nolan Horton due up here for Cheyenne. For Cheyenne, if they can win this game and get to the championship game coming up later this afternoon against Gillette, they would make history either way, either team, as that pitch on the corner of the breaking ball for a strike. No team from Wyoming has ever appeared or made it to the American Legion World Series. No team has ever gotten there.
It's a great fastball in the outside corner by Frank, getting ahead 0-2.
As that pitch is going to be lined just foul outside the first base bag, and it's 0-2. Wyoming is one of 3 states to never send a representative to the American Legion World Series, the other 2 being Alaska and Vermont, as that pitch is outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So if they can win this game and set up the rematch with Gillette coming up later this afternoon, not only would it make history, but it would probably set this stadium on its ear as they fly ball to right field, and there's Jacobson there to make the catch.
Yeah, so not only have no Gillette teams played, but this Rocky Mountain Lobos team also They haven't made it to the World Series yet either, too, so they're looking to punch their ticket for the first time ever as well from the Rocky Mountain program.
So here's McAnally. First pitch misses down an M ball one. Landon McAnally, the designated hitter, has struggled in his time in the lineup during the tournament. He just has 1 hit in 7 at-bats. This is just the 3rd game he has played. That one's a rolled foul outside of third.
Yeah, tough night last night while everyone on the Cheyenne team was putting up gaudy numbers. McAnally, unfortunately, wore the collar for this Cheyenne team.
Here's the 0-1. That's going to be hit along the left field line. That 2 is going to fall out of play, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
And it's just things like that when you're struggling. That's how baseball works. It seems like when you're on fire, that ball finds a way to land on the chalk, because that was a decent swing, just a little bit behind. But when you're going well, it seems that ball stays fair.
Outfield comes up a few steps in the 0-2 pitch, misses down and in, 1-2.
It's a great take inside there from McAnally, but I like that from Frank, coming inside, changing where the eye is being viewed.
The 1-2 pitch. That's hit back up the middle, but right there is the shortstop Hall near the bag, straightens and throws him out.
That's a good job by Hall coming to get that ball, but to finish that thought, when you go inside, go back outside, the hitter cannot look at one half of the plate. They have to look both halves of the plate, and now they're a little bit behind, where if they can eliminate one half and just attack on the outside corner, they're in a much better position to hit.
Here's Nolan Horton, the number 8 hitter in the lineup for Cheyenne. Horton comes in hitting .364 and takes the first pitch over for a strike. 4 hits and 11 at-bats, but he's driven in 4, which is 1 off the team lead. Squibber off the end of the bat, kicks foul, and it's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes, as Frank is now retired 5 in a row after giving up the back-to-back singles in the top of the first inning to DeFoya and McAnally. The 0-2. Fastball on the corner, strike 3 called as he sets the side down in order. Cheyenne tippy-toes through the bottom of the second, and we'll go to the third with Rocky Mountain leading 2-0. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championships, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group in Gillette, and you're hearing it and watching it all on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
Trust, hard work, and experience is what you'll find at Brian's Muffler Shop in Evanston. Quality work at a great price. Brian's Muffler is the perfect fit for oil changes, stock and performance mufflers, and Anderson hitches and accessories. Call Brian's Muffler today, 789-7021.
Welcome back to the Union Broadcast booth. Everything else is just internet. As we go here to the third, as it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for Rocky Mountain. Nate Ellison, Phoenix West, and Christian Wood here against Bradley Feaser as we go to the third.
Eliason was the catalyst for that first run. He had a single, advanced on a wild pitch, and then stole third to put himself in the scoring position to put the Lobos up on top 1-0.
So here's Eliason to lead off. Now, there was action in the bullpen behind Feaser at the end of the last inning. As Eliason, first ball swing, he pops it up in foul ground right around home plate, and it's the catcher, Anderson, to make the catch.
It's a real good pitch there from Feaser as he got in on the hands there of Eliason and forced the pop out right there.
Here's Phoenix West, who grounded out his first time up. Hitting from the left side. As we mentioned before, West leading the team with hitting .417. And hold on a minute. I'm not sure what Feaser's got himself into, if it's a bug or somebody's out there trying to trying to almost like get spider webs off of his arms. Now he climbs up on top, and he's ready and comes home in the first pitch to West. That misses outside, ball one. Now that the rain is gone and the sun is out today, because we're going to have some of those summertime bugs making their way back out looking for sunshine today too. 1 ball and no strikes. Feeser coming home again. Fastball again misses away. Ball 2-0.
Now those pitches are just off the outside corner, very close, but he went there the first pitch, about the same location. You got to move that in just a little bit.
Trying not to keep the leading hitter on this Rocky Mountain team, West, from getting a ball he can extend his arms on. The 2-0. Way outside, falls behind 3 balls and a strike. Feeser's only walked 1 so far today and walked 3 overall in the tournament. But he falls behind West 3-0. He's got to come in with 1. That is missing, low and away, so he walks West on 4 pitches.
That is the 4th walk that Phoenix West has drawn in this tournament, as that puts a runner on for the 4-hitter.
So 2 strikeouts and 2 walks for Feeser through 2 1/3. And that'll bring up Christian Wood, who flew out to right field his first time up. 2-0 Rocky Mountain here in the top of the 3rd inning. Feeser comes set, checks first, comes home, and the first pitch here to Wood is on the outside corner at the knees, and it's 0-1.
Let's see if the runner on first, West, is going to be off and going on one of the pitches. It seems like each time they've gotten a runner on first, that runner has tried to at least take second.
Feeser ready again. Going to go to first base this time. And West back to the bag. It would appear that Feeser likes to go down and away to right-handed hitters, but doesn't want to come in to a left-hander, as he walked West on 4 pitches hitting from the left side. The 1-0. Big chopper over the mound. Boy, that could be 2, as McAnally missed the bag, tries to go to first, and still gets an out on the play.
As we have that on the My Local Rodeo replay, great job there by McAnally to making sure that he gets 1, trying to stretch out as long as he could, as he's a very tall player.
As it is Ty Lane coming out to talk to the umpires. He's contesting that McAnally was able to reach back and make a tag on the runner West coming in that would have completed a double play, but the umpire at second base says no. As the conversation continues just inside the foul line along the third base side, and whatever the arbiter in blue has to say, that of course would be Aldo Mora. He wins. There's no real argument, but he'll win the discussion anyway.
Yeah, we watched that again on the My Local Rodeo replay. It looks like he did swipe down, but it's hard to tell from where we're at if he tagged him in time. But that's a heads-up play there by McAnally, trying to get the tag, then throw over, as he did get the out at first.
McAnally with several outstanding defensive plays at shortstop last night, and that was almost another one. So runner at second and 2 outs. And here is Brady Hall, who singled to open up the second inning and eventually came around to score the second run of the game and takes the first pitch down low, ball 1, 1-0. West at second, 2 outs here in the 3rd. Feeser. And he's going to bluff back to second base. And we got action again up behind Feeser in the bullpen for Cheyenne down in the left field corner. A right-hander was up earlier. We'll try to pick off a number. They have a piece of green cloth guarding most of the bullpen, so you can't really pick out numbers of who might be warming up. It's Peyton Seeley, number 3, hard-throwing right-hander down there getting loose for Cheyenne. 2 balls and no strikes. Hall waiting and jammed, fights it off, but hits it foul, and it's 2-1.
Of course, Seeley pitched in last night's game, but was lifted after 15 pitches. That way he could come back today.
So 2 balls and a strike here on Hall with 2 outs. 2-0. Rocky Mountain jumps out to a lead. West with a walking lead away from second base. Feeser ready again. Checks second a couple of times, comes home with a 2-1. It's up a high strike call as the count goes to 2-2 as Pat Zink, who is a big, tall umpire. He's got to be about 6'6", and he'll tend to give those higher strikes because that is more in his line of vision. Feeser ready again, the 2-2. Off speed, hit right back to the box. Feeser has it. He'll run it about halfway over and underhand it to Swain, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, a walk, and one man left. We're done with 2.5. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's still 2-0 Rocky Mountain on this AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette on K-Ray and on MyLocalRadio.com.
I'm Kendall Roberts with the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition. Whether your car is a classic car or a new one, buckle up every time. Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
When you have an appointment with the dentist, it's reassuring to know that you're going to be seen by experienced, well-trained professionals. At Bear River Dental in Evanston, Dr. Lester, Dr. Owens, and Dr. Welch check every box. Plus, they're really nice people. Their passion to provide excellent dental care is reflected in everything from state-of-the-art equipment to professional, hardworking staff. Choose the professionals at Bear River Dental, serving patients of all ages. Call today to schedule an appointment.
Go to the bottom of the third. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Rocky Mountain. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Cheyenne. And here in the bottom of the third, they'll send the number 9 hitter, Cade Coates, up. Then it's back to the top of the order, Mason Tafoya and Coulter McAnally. As the half inning ends, Seeley sits down in the bullpen as the first pitch is bunted back toward the pitcher as he has it, and Frank throws him out over at first base. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And back to the top of the order, Mason Tafoya.
I like the idea there from Coates, but you just got to get it down either the first base or the third base line, ideally the third base line, but you cannot bunt it right back at the pitcher if you're trying to bunt for a hit.
Tafoya opened the bottom of the first inning with a single, went to second base on McAnally's single, and then took third on the double steal as he takes the first pitch here over for a strike, and it's 0-1. But, however, Frank then came back and retired the next 3 hitters and left Tafoya standing over at third base as the 0-1 misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ready again in the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and it's 1-2.
The 1-0 pitch was a breaking ball there from Frank. We haven't seen a ton of them, but let's see going through that going through the order the second time, see if he uses that breaking ball more.
1-2 pitch. Cued foul over on the first base side, and it stays at 1-2. Tafoya and McAnally are the 2 table setters for this lineup. They have to be successful for Cheyenne to be able to produce runs the way they have. The 1-2. Roller foul over on the third base side this time, and it stays at 1-2.
Well, the first time through the order was kind of a little bit of reverse of what has happened here in the tournament, as McAnally and Tafoya have struggled, but they were both on. The hot hitters were the ones that were put out in the first.
1-2 offering. Breaking pitch hit in the air to left field, hit pretty well. Wood's got to go back, still going back, and as he gets near the track, he's able to, nope, he couldn't get it. It's over his head. He has to play it off the wall, and Tafoya gives it the shimmy as he gets to second base with a double.
Yeah, right there, Tafoya lit into that one as that ball just continued to carry. No wind blowing today, as that was all Tafoya as he one-hops that off the wall, just misses hitting that one out.
Thought Wood had a play on it, but stumbled as he was going back. And the ball got just over his glove, and he had to play it off the base of the wall. So here's Coulter McAnally, represents the tying run. And the first pitch to McAnally popped up into short center. Lawing coming in, runs everybody off and makes the catch.
Great job there by Lawing, as he's the he's the person to take command on that ball as he can come in and see it. One note on that play from Wood.
Yeah.
I was walking on the outfield track out there. It goes from natural grass to turf when you hit that warning track. And myself, the first time I tried to step from the grass to the warning track, I stumbled a bit too, as it is something that you have to navigate, as it's real. Not a lot of teams have that.
Right. A lot of places do have that. Here's Julian Romero, who fouled out his first time up and takes the first pitch down low. It's nice to have that, though, because with all the rain that we've had the last couple of days, the warning track all the way around the facility stays playable. It doesn't get wet and muddy. It drains very well, just like the infield. The only thing that's natural grass is the outfield surface itself. As the next pitch to Foya misses outside, ball 2-0.
Yeah, I completely agree. Without that, it could be a very different tournament, as it would have been real hard to play the last 2 days.
Yeah, there's no way we could have got done with the rain that we've had the last 2 days. Here's the 2-0. Popped up. Left field again. Wood's got to go back. Still going back again out in the same location, and again can't make the catch. As coming in is Tafoya. McAnally to second base with an RBI double. Nope, it's going to be an error this time as Wood got a glove on it. As it's Romero will end up at second base on the error.
Back-to-back times now in left field. It's been a real adventure going back on a fly ball, as that was absolutely crushed to the opposite field from Romero. He got a hold of that ball. Unfortunately, Frank can't haul it in as Cheyenne cuts the lead in half.
So no RBI on the error because there was 2 outs on it. So now here is Corey Williams, a chance to tie the game, as Williams takes the first pitch down and in, ball 1. So they get on the board with a double and then an error on the left fielder, Wood, as he's had a heck of a time. The last 2 balls hit his direction. The next pitch hit back up the middle near second base. There is Ellingson to turn and throw him out, and they leave the tying run standing over at third base. Nice play by Ellingson to get the final out. No runs. Check that, 1 run, on 1 hit. There was 1 error, and they leave the tying run standing at third base. So it's 2-1 after 3 with Rocky Mountain on top in this AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Dad, I heard that human eyes can distinguish between 1 to 10 million different colors. Is that true?
That is true. The human eye is amazing. We use our eyes not only to work and learn, but also to simply enjoy the beauty that surrounds us. At Uinta Eye and Vision, we care about each individual's eye health needs. Whether a person is looking for computer glasses, polarized sunglasses to assist in outdoor hobbies, contact lenses, or has general eye health needs, we are here to listen to our patients' thoughts and concerns to help them enjoy their amazing eyes.
Call today to schedule an appointment. 789-3937.
With 25 years of successful industry experience, Mountain West Business Solutions looks forward to providing all of our customers with exceptional service, industry-leading technology, and a one-of-a-kind buying experience. Having your office equipped with the right technology makes all the difference in the world. With a lower cost per print, we will supply you with the right technology for the best price. Great people, great products, and great service. Mountain West Business Solutions, 133 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Well, Cheyenne gets a run to get back into the game. It's 2-1 as we go here to the 4th inning. As we go to the top of the 4th, you have to think that Bradley Feaser is going to be on a bit of a short leash, as Peyton Seeley already up and throwing again down in the bullpen. He has stopped and just kind of walking around in the pen right now and stretching, but he's already up, so you have to think that Feaser's time may be coming to an end in this game. 2-1, Rocky Mountain leads. As here is the pitcher, Ross Frank, to lead off in the 4th, and the first pitch over for a strike.
Yeah, Frank's been real versatile in this tournament, played 4 positions. He's pitched in 2 games, caught 1, played short the other day, and has also played third base.
One pitch hit foul off of the First base side, back over toward the clubhouse area, and it's 0-2.
To go along with a .273 batting average and 3 walks. Actually, that batting average going up after getting a hit his first time up.
Outfield pretty much straight away against Frank, leading off here in the 4th. And the 0-2 offering. That's hit foul again off the first base side. Line drive down the line. And it's ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch home. Swung on and missed. So Frank retired on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout here for Bradley Feaser.
Yeah, it's a real good fastball there at the letters. It's real hard to lay off of, and it's even harder to catch up to.
So here's Aiden Nelson. Feaser, who had 5 strikeouts in that first start against Pocatello in the 2nd game of the tournament for Cheyenne. As the first pitch here to Nelson is hit foul. Back onto the concourse area, and it's 0-1.
If you can right the ship here for Cheyenne, it looks like their bats starting to wake up.
Nelson had 4 hits and 10 at-bats coming in. Started today hitting at .400, although he's dropped below that just a couple of points. And the 0-1 pitch is rolled foul again over on the first base side, and it's 0-2. When Feaser wants to crank it up, they have a hard time getting the head big end of the bat out in front of it. The 0-2 misses up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good 0-2 pitch, as is a fastball up and away, not too far out of the zone, but that's a pitch that's right in your eyes that batters want to chase.
Not every 0-2 pitch needs to be a breaking ball in the dirt. As that one's bounced out in front of home plate, they're going to say foul as it hit Nelson while he was still in the box, so it stays at 1-2. So many times you see an 0-2 pitch that you want to throw a breaking ball in the dirt, bounce it up there, maybe throw it off the outside edge. You can throw a fastball up and out of this, right it high out of the zone, and maybe you get somebody to chase one.
Yeah, and that fastball at the top of the zone is a real good combination pitch with that breaking ball because they look like they start in the same spot.
1-2 pitch, missed inside, 2-2. Got a couple dozen umpires sitting down right behind home plate, thought it was a strike. Here's the 2-2 offering. Again up high, and it's runs full 3-2. The other reason that high fastball is so hard to hit is it looks better than it is. It may look at eye level, but it's actually up higher than that. You can't get your hands up that high to get on top of it. As the 3-2 pitch comes up and in, it hits the batter Nelson on the helmet and then deflects down and hits Anderson in the mask. So check and make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah, and while they do, we want to let you know that coming in the spring of 2024 to My Local Radio, we will have My Local Rodeo, starting with the Intermountain Icebreaker Rodeo in Ogden, Utah in March. Then catch the entire Utah High School Rodeo season and the Wyoming and Utah State Finals in June. Also, check out My Local Rodeo podcast, wherever you get your podcast, coming in September. That's My Local Rodeo. Change the radio to rodeo, and that is what the podcast is going to be, as Elon Olive is going to start that podcast coming soon in September, as it's really, I would say that's one of his real big joys is rodeo. So you get to hear a guy who loves the rodeo, grew up in it, and he is excited to bring you rodeo media.
And Elon here with us today as our producer and engineer. So 1 out, 1 on, and here's Eric Bergquist. Bergquist had a scoring fly ball his first time up, as he picked up an RBI back in the 2nd inning, and the first pitch up high, ball 1. For Bergquist, that run batted in on the sac fly was his first of the tournament. There's the 1-0. That's fouled away, and the count runs even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, we've had opportunities to bring some rodeo to My Local Radio or My Local Rodeo so far this year. And we've got a whole bunch more lined up for you coming up in the 23-24 school year. The 1-1. Roller wide of third. There's Tafoya. He'll go to second, get one there. Whoa, hold on. Nope. They're going to say he dropped the ball. That's not on the exchange. He's going to call that an all-out straight drop.
As we have that on the My Local Rodeo replay, the second baseman, Coates, tried to get going a little bit too quickly as he's going to pick up the error on that as that ball hits off the end of his glove, rolls into center field as both runners are safe.
Error is going to get charged to the second baseman, Coates.
Third baseman gets credit for an assist.
Tafoya gets an assist, but the drop on the error charge to Coates puts runners at first and second, and still only one out in the inning. And the number 9 hitter, Eric Jacobson, now comes up to do damage against his former mates. As the first pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. He walked his first time up. Swain comes up on the cut of the grass, looking bunt. Tafoya plays at the cut of the grass over at third. As the next pitch, breaking ball, misses down and in, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And objective here, you want to try to advance the runners. There's a big hole between the second baseman and the first baseman. You can find that gap, but you'll move both runners along and probably drive one in.
Again, Swain sneaking in over at first. He's swinging and swings through a good fastball, and it's 1-2.
Of course, Jacobson is the 9-hole hitter, as on the top of the order is on deck. So Jacobson, this at-bat right here is important for this Rocky Mountain Lobo lineup.
So a ball and 2 strikes. Fees are ready again. Ground ball towards short. They're going to go to second. They get one there. The return throw is not in time, as Bergquist does a good job taking Coates out on the play and didn't get a whole lot on the return throw back to first base.
There's going to be a lot of people mad about that, but as a base runner, you want to slide to the base. You can't slide over the base, but if you slide to the base, that's where Coates is. As it looks like he's all right.
Well, he slid at the base. The problem was the ball wasn't hit that hard, and when McAnally feed the ball back to second base, he left his second baseman hung out to dry.
Well, we've got a moment. We want to thank Signature Real Estate Group of Gillette, Wyoming for sponsoring all of these games and allowing us to come out here and bring you this tournament on mylocalradio.com. So we're going to get a conversation between the umpires.
So the 4 umpires now are going to get together and decide if that was an interference, saying that possibly Bergquist could have slid out of the baseline. That would make the batter runner Jacobson out automatically on an interference call. As the four umpires in blue get together just on the third base side of the pitcher's mound to discuss what they saw and what happened. As Feeser comes down to home plate area to stand and talk to his catcher, and Kieran Lawing all in there as well. As the conversation continues, if the play stands, there'll be 2 outs, and Rocky Mountain would have runners at the corners, still holding on to that 2-1 lead. As the coffee clutch with the umpires breaks up, and they're going to let the call stand. They're out at second base, and the runner at first is safe. So they're going to say that there was no interference. It's the straight fielder's choice for Jacobson, as Bergquist is out 4-6, and it'll be runners at the corners and 2 outs, and we go back to the top of the order now, and Kieran Lawing at the plate.
Yeah, that's a bit old school there from Bergquist, going in hard into second base, doing it cleanly though. Every base runner should look at that and try to do that. It saves his team an out, and now they have an opportunity to score a run. So if they're able to drive this run in, that's going to be a big play in the game.
So here's Lawing. Lawing 0 for 2. First pitch bounces up there, gets away. Here comes Nelson to score. It's 3-1.
We talked about Bergquist struggling at the plate, but we said there's things he can do to help offensively. And right there, that's an example of it. Breaking up the double play leads to that 3rd run for the Lobos.
Wild pitch, the run in, and it's 3-1. And moving up to second base goes Jacobson. So no force now in the infield with 2 outs. And a 1-ball, no strike count on Lawing. Next ball grounded to third. Tafoya has it near the cut of the grass, straightens, throws across in time for the out. And the inning is over, but certainly the damage is done. 1 run, no hits in the inning, an error, and 1 man left. we'll go to the bottom of the fourth with Rocky Mountain now leading 3-1. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championships, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group in Gillette, right here on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Risk takers, adventure seekers, optimists, authentic people with the fire in their belly and greatness in their hearts. You'll find them here, in a place where the spirit of the cowboy lives and thrives.
I am a cowboy. I am a cowboy.
Soy vaquera. The world needs more cowboys.
3-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth and first of 2 games here this afternoon. The winner of this game will play Gillette coming up 45 minutes after the last out of this game. So here is Hayden Swain to lead it off. The big first baseman for Cheyenne takes the first pitch over for a strike. It'll be Swain, Anderson, and McAnally here in the fourth inning. Next pitch hit in the air as the center fielder Lawing going over, waves everybody off and makes the catch.
That's a good job here by Ross Frank. Continues to attack. He's been very efficient around the zone, allowing his defense to play defense, do what they do. He's been throwing strikes, and that allows your defense to be better. They're on their toes. They're more ready.
Yeah, Cheyenne's only had 4 base runners, 3 hits, and an error that allowed Romero to reach his last time up. As Williams hits the first pitch foul off the first base side, and or I should say Anderson hits the first pitch foul, and it's 0-1.
It's a little different than his last outing. As you remember, he struck out 9 his last outing in 4 2/3.
As the next pitch again misses outside, ball up, ball 1 ball and no strikes. So the 4 through 9 hitters so far for Cheyenne, as we play here in the bottom of the fourth inning, the 4 through 9 hitters are a collective 0 for 9. Ball and 2 strikes on the catcher Anderson, and the 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul up along the third base side, and it'll stay at 1-2.
Yeah, we talked about earlier in the pregame show that it was those hitters that have been the most successful for the Cheyenne team, as now the script has kind of been flipped.
Here's the 1-2. Again, hit foul. That goes back to the screen.
That's a good battle here from Williams. Or, excuse me, make that Anderson.
Next pitch home to Anderson. Misses inside, and it's 2-2.
And
go ahead.
Anderson's right on top of that plate. There's not a lot of room for that pitch to miss inside without hitting him.
When Cheyenne scored that single run last inning, it broke a string of 9 consecutive innings that they went without scoring a run, going back to last night's game against Gillette. As the next pitch fouled away, it's 2-2. They came out, they scored 8 in the first, added 2 in the third, and then didn't score the rest of the game. Through the fourth through the extra inning in the 8th. So there's 5 innings there, and they didn't score in the first couple innings tonight as well. So a 2-2 pitch as Frank Rocks comes home, and the pitch to Anderson. That's lined into left field for a base hit.
Real great at-bat there from Anderson, as he fouled off a couple of really tough pitches as he's able to drive one that he gets over the middle of the plate as we watch it on the My Local Rodeo replay. Fouls off a tough pitch, and then he gets one over the middle of the plate, a breaking ball that hangs high and that just deposits into left field for a base hit.
So here's Landon McAnally, the designated hitter. He'll hit from the left side. See if he can punch one through the third base side, but instead he rolls one up along third. Bergquist has it, goes across. Oh, great dig over at first base by West for the out.
Yeah, sometimes a great infield, what's behind a great infield is a great first baseman, and West with that nice pick over there. Originally slated to play third base in today's contest, has real good hands. Due to a little bit of a knot in his shoulder, they move him over to first. A lot less throwing over there. Great job by West.
So they weren't able to go for two, and then West gets the out over at first base on a great defensive play. Hang a star on that baby. As the breaking ball gets away, goes to the backstop on the first pitch to Horton, and down to third base goes Anderson.
That play becomes even bigger after that ball gets by the catcher.
So the wild pitch puts Anderson over at third, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Two outs, outfield straightaway, infield back. As the next pitch again misses outside, ball 2-0. Horton, the center fielder, 0 for 1 in the contest, struck out his first time up here today. That would have been just the second time he would have struck out here in the tournament. 2-0 pitch, misses down low, ball 3-0.
Way ahead with the runner in scoring position. See if they allow Horton to be aggressive here, if they want to try to continue to pass the baton, move the line along.
The number 9 hitter, Cade Coates, would be next and will be now as the 2-out walk is issued to Horton.
On the mound, if you're Frank, nothing hurt. Obviously, you don't ever want to put the tying run on base, but you get the out right here. You have 2 outs in the inning. You'll be all right.
First walk given up by Frank. And with runners at the corners and 2 outs, here's the number 9 hitter, Coates. Out of the stretch, Frank, look out, almost threw it to the backstop, and on the first pitch, Horton's running anyway and will steal second base.
As we'll go to the My Local Rodeo replay. That's a great stop behind the plate as get the stolen base, and they move up.
Folks from Cheyenne starting to make noise downstairs as they see the tying runs in scoring position. Ground ball, it's going to be into right field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Horton to the plate. He will score. We're tied at 3.
That's a great piece of hitting right there as he just goes the other way. That big hole in between first and second. He's able to find it with the ground ball single. And now we are tied up with a runner on base for the top of the order.
So we'll go back to the top of the order, and you're not out of the woods yet, as here comes the skipper for the Rocky Mountain team. That is Cole Anderson out to the mound to come out and talk about it as 2 runs have come in. They've let Cheyenne get back into the game as it's now a 3-3 tie with 2 outs here in the bottom of inning number 4. He says his piece. He'll stay with Frank. We can't see down to the right field corner, so we don't know. We don't know if anyone is throwing down in the bullpen or not. But we go back to the top of the order, and here's Tafoya. Tafoya singled, doubled, and scored a run.
Talked about free passes hurting Gillette yesterday. The one free pass that Frank has allowed just came around to score at the tying run.
Pitch misses outside. Ball 1 ball and no strikes. There is 2 outs in the inning as the big hit, the walk, and the single that tied the game came with 2 outs. As the next pitch is over for a strike, and it's 1-1. So a 3-3 tie as Cheyenne now with 5 hits in the game as that pitch misses outside again, and it's 2 balls and a strike. You know, earlier in the inning we talked about how they got no offense out of the bottom of the order. It's the bottom of the order who came up and tied the game. The 2-1 on the corner. It's 2-2.
Real good fastball and a hitter's count on the outside corner. Hard to drive that pitch when it's that far away from you. Great spot there from Frank.
Frank ready. The 2-2 offering swung on and missed. Tafoya strikes out in the inning. Comes to an end, but not before Cheyenne gets 2 and gets even. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and they leave one man on base. We're done with 4. It's a brand new ball game as it's a 3-3 tie as we move along to the 5th on this AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship Series game, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group here in Gillette, and it's on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rock & Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
Do you want to further your education? Are you thinking of attending college? You can start now here in Evanston. Western Evanston Outreach provides students with a low-cost alternative to leaving town. Western offers a variety of degrees including nursing, BAS, and our brand new cybersecurity. Also offering a variety of certificate programs that can be completed all right here in Evanston. Western Evanston Outreach, we are your local community college.
Nate Eliason up to lead it off here for Rocky Mountain. Hits the first pitch on the ground as Tafoya has it, plays it across. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Through 4 innings today, 3 runs, 5 hits for Cheyenne, 3 runs, 5 hits for Rocky Mountain. Each side has committed an error, and now with 1 out, here's the first baseman, Phoenix West. Phoenix is grounded out and walked, 0 for 1 officially in the game, as Feeser's still out there now in a tie game, but they get the bullpen busy behind him again, as I assume that's probably Seeley getting up to continue to stay warm. Hold on, timeout. West trying to adjust that elbow protector that he wears. And now climbs back in. I don't know why more guys don't wear those.
And we get action down in the Rocky Mountain bullpen as well.
Fastball misses outside, ball 2-0.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring you who that is, as that's completely blocked off. We know this because they were stopped the game to make them close the fence on that side.
Here's the 2-0. Ball 3 as Feeser misses high. So if he was on a short leash down by 2, that leash has got to be even shorter now in a tie game to make sure they don't fall behind again. The 3-0 pitch is over for a strike, and it's 3-1. Check that. Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah, this is a big inning. Your teammates got your back even in this ball game, and you want to get them back to the bat as soon as possible, try to take that lead.
There's the 3-1. Hits it foul into the glove of the catcher Anderson, and the count runs full, 3-2. Feeser has not retired the side in order in any one inning so far in the game. The 3-2. Grounded toward the second baseman. Coates is there, and a couple of hops. He'll play that across for the second out.
It's a real good job by Feeser, battling back, throwing a strike, forcing them to put it in play, and allowing his defense to work, as it's a very solid defense behind the pitcher, Feeser.
Here's Christian Wood, who's 0 for 2. You know, the lineup for Rocky Mountain is just exactly opposite of what it was for Cheyenne. The top of their order, the first 4 batters in the lineup coming into this at-bat here with Wood, they have just 1 hit over the first 4 innings. They're 1 for 10. The only hit coming in the first inning by the second baseman, Nate Eliason. So 0-1 the count. Next pitch to Woods, a fastball that's up high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Wood, who had the trouble keeping his footing out there in left field, drew the error that allowed the first run of the game to get in for Cheyenne, and has to be at home plate just wanting to do something to get that run back as the breaking ball over for a strike on the inside half, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, the best thing he can do is stay within himself. You don't want to try to drive a home run. Usually home runs come when you just make good contact.
Breaking ball, outside corner, strike 3 called. And for the first time today, Bradley Feaser has set the side down in order as the Lobos go out 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth in a 3-3 tie. It's the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championships, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group, and it's on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Water testing, community enhancement grants, seedling trees and wildflowers, classroom lessons and specialty workshops, composting and conservation of water and soil. The Uintah County Conservation District is here to serve Uintah County residents. Visit our website today, uintahcountycd.com.
I buckle up because there's been too many fatalities around our house where somebody would have survived if they'd been wearing their seatbelt.
I definitely wear my seatbelt to keep him safe. I wear it just for safety.
I buckle up because my mom makes me.
I buckle up to set a good example for my kids and to make sure they stay safe.
Getting home safe to my family.
I buckle up because it keeps me safe. Go Pups, buckle up!
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
It's turned out to be a dandy here in the first of two here this afternoon from Hladky Memorial here in Gillette, Wyoming, as it's a 3-3 tie as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Colton McAnally, Julian Romero, and Corey Williams due up here for the Cheyenne Post Sixers here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch to McAnally is hit foul off the first base side, and it's 0-1. McAnally 1 for 2, singled in the first and flew out to center. Ready again. Next pitch to McAnally. Again, hit to left. Wood gets to come up on this one this time. Doesn't have to get ground. He's there to make the play.
Has to feel good for Wood after a couple of them. Got behind him on plays that I think if you ask him, he should probably make those plays. But get that confidence back. You know, just like hitting defense, sometimes your confidence gets shaky. And in the outfield, that's a lonely feeling.
So here's Julian Romero, who's 0 for 2. Was the guy who, as that drives the first pitch to center, up comes the center fielder Lawing and makes the catch. Was about to say it was Romero who hit the ball to left field, that Wood lost his footing and dropped the fly ball that allowed the first run to come in. So a couple of fly balls on a couple of pitches. Here's Corey Williams, who's 0 for 2. Williams flew out to left and is grounded out to second and takes the first pitch over for a strike. That pitch for Frank, his 83rd pitch of the game. Pitch hit foul and stays 0-1. Next pitch home to Williams. Ground ball to the right side. Diving, smothering the ball as Eliasson gets up and throws him out. What a play. So he makes the play, and Ross Frank comes in, and he sets down the side in order, 1-2-3, and what becomes a very quick fifth inning. We're done with 5. We'll go to the 6th in a 3-3 tie in the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championships, brought to you by Signature Real Estate Group in Gillette, brought to you by your on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Red Devil pride runs deep with the team at Callis Automotive. Today's students are tomorrow's leaders. You'll always find quality products at fair prices at Callis Automotive. We're proud to serve our customers, our community, and our Evanston Red Devils. Stop in today. Callis Automotive, your local Napa dealer.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same day and next day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Union broadcast booth. The Union, everything else is just internets. Brady Hall to lead it off for Rocky Mountain as we go here to the 6th.
Hall, Ross Frank, and Adrian Nelson. As Hall up there, and first pitch hit foul at home plate, and it's 0-1. Hall 1 for 2, singled, scored a run back in the second, hit back to the box in the third. Bradley Feaser stays out there now in the 3-3 tie, and once again, action picks up behind him already in the bullpen. As if that is still Peyton Seeley down there throwing, he's thrown probably close to a limit of pitches he can throw in a day, just getting hot in the bullpen. As the next pitch is up high again to Hall. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, I like it because you don't have to get ready if you stay ready, as if Feaser does get into trouble, I'm sure they will go to Seeley.
So he gets up and just throws a few. He's not throwing real hard. He's just throwing good enough to stay loose if he's needed. Ball hit in the air to right field. Williams coming over and up and makes the catch.
Yeah, Feaser settled in nicely here as the last inning and a third. He's set the batters down 5 in a row now.
So 5 in a row set down. It's actually more than that. It's actually 7 in a row, counting the 2 fielders' choices hit into by Bergquist and Jacobson at the end of the 4th inning. First pitch hit in the air again toward right center field. This time it's the center fielder, Horton, coming over and cutting in front of Williams to make the play.
Feaser's really attacking the zone here and allowing his defense to work. His defense has definitely worked real well behind him. Both teams have made an error, but that outfield there, chasing the ball down, they cover a lot of ground.
And the Lobos now kind of helping him out going after the first pitch, as he's up over 80 pitches, 80, probably 85 officially now, as he gets ready to come home with the first pitch to Nelson. In the first pitch, again, first ball swing, he hit foul.
It almost should have been an automatic take right there. Allow your pitcher on the mound to take a deep breath, catch his breath again before he has to go back out to work.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Last man to reach base successfully against Feaser was Nelson, as he was hit by a pitch. As that pitch on the corner again, strike 3 called. So he strikes out Nelson. He sets down 8 in a row, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 3 in this AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship, brought to you by Signature Real Estate on K-Ray and on MyLocalRadio.com.
They say the 3 most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. From insulation and scaffolding to paintings and coatings, our crews are standing by to assist with new construction, maintenance projects, facility shutdowns, and more. Contact us today to ensure your assets are protected and functional. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
Bottom of the 6th inning, we're still tied at 3. As here in the bottom of the 6th, as Cheyenne will come back up for the post-Sixers, it'll be Hayden Swain, Caden Anderson, and Landon McAnally. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the lineup. Getting down to that point in the game, Aaron, that's the managers are now going to have to roll the dice a little bit and decide who they're going to try to bring in out of the bullpen in a tie game, because you're going to have to continue to get outs. So here is Swain, the first pitch over for a strike.
Yeah, these pitch counts, they got elevated in the first 3 innings. The last couple innings have been pretty smooth for the pitchers.
Ball thumbed up along the first base side, foul, and it's 0-2. Dan Hubbard along with Aaron Poling and our producer engineer Elon Olaf. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon from Hladky Memorial Stadium in Gillette, Wyoming. It's game 14 on day 5 of the Northwest Regional Championship as the pitch misses outside, 1-2.
It's a real good take from Swain as that ball was just off the plate away, and that's a great 0-2 pitch from Frank.
Here's the 1-2 on the way. Again, misses off the plate, 2-2.
It's kind of how Hayden Swain's at-bats have gone here. As he's had a lot of real tough pitches in that first 2 pitches, falling behind quickly, but really battles back well.
Swain's walked 6 times in the tournament. That leads the Cheyenne as a team as the 2-2 pitch is rolled foul again over on the third base side, and it stays even at 2s. Now the 2-2 on the way. Misses outside, runs the count full, 3-2.
Well, if you're West, you want to attack him here. This is the leadoff hitter. After going ahead 0-2, he's evened it up.
Swain is 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out. The 3-2 pitch is hit along the right field line. It's going to get down. It's fair. It's going to roll into the corner. Swain's going to head for second. Jacobson's throw is cut off, and he's there with a leadoff double.
As that was a nice piece of hitting there. Pitch on the outer third, just goes with it. He's a big, strong kid. Just flips it down that right field line for a leadoff double as the Sixers are now in business.
6 hits in the game now for the Sixers. And with the go-ahead run at second base and nobody out, it'll be up to Anderson, McAnally, and Horton to try to bring him in. Defense looks bunt as they come up at the corners. And the first pitch, he's not showing bunt and takes the pitch down low, over on the outside corner, I should say, for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Looks like they're going to allow Anderson to swing the bat. But if you're Anderson, you got to hit the ball to the right side. Get that runner over to third with less than 2 outs.
Next pitch, ground ball to first. Nice play as it's West to make the play, carry it to the bag, and hold the runner at second base.
Unfortunately, he hit the ball so hard at the first baseman that West could have made the play. Knowing what we know up here, I don't know if the Sixers know this, but if West has a little bit of an injury in his shoulder, could have been a time maybe to try to force the issue, but.
As it's a line drive, throw back to second. No, it's not in time. So the line drive hit right at the third baseman, Berquist.
Center fielder, number 6, Nolan.
So a hard hit ball at the first baseman. McAnally then lines out to third. Now all of a sudden, Swain, who led off the inning with a double, is still standing there 2 outs later. So here's Norton. Norton's walked and struck out and hits the first pitch in the air off the first base side, and it's 0-1. We mentioned at the top of the inning as the kids from Fort Collins certainly helped out Feezer. Well, Cheyenne's doing the same thing, going after the first pitch here against Ross Frank. Frank, who's not thrown as many pitches as Feezer had at this point in the game, as that pitch misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Feezer, through the completed top of the inning, has thrown 88. Frank started this inning at only 67 pitches. Here's the 1-1. Down and away, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike.
As the count turns into the favor of Horton, looking for that pitch that you hit well, as it's a 2-1 count.
I should say 76, not 67. As that pitch is on the corner, it's 1-2. The way they have to display the pitches for the folks out in the stands, we see them backwards. My dyslexia reads the numbers backwards, and it becomes the right way around. They kind of eliminate each other. Here's the 2-2. Misses outside, runs the count full now, 3-2.
Yeah, that's a real good at-bat here from Horton. As it's forcing Frank to throw a couple more pitches. We talked about going early and often on Frank and keeping that pitch count down. Instead, he's forcing him to throw more pitches. He's going to throw his 92nd one here.
Big pitch to Horton, 3-2, misses down and away. As Horton walks for the second time in a row.
Yeah, great at-bat. You love that. Staying within yourself. Didn't really get a ton to hit there. Didn't leave the zone as well. and just keep passing the baton. I think that's when the Sixers offense is at its best, is when they continue to pass that baton, stay within themselves, and don't try to force it.
He's only walked 2 in the game, and both of those Norton. And they go back to second, and not in time. As Swain almost fallen asleep out there and just does get back into the bag as Eliason snuck in behind him. So here's Coates waiting for a first pitch. And the first pitch to him, he's first ball swinging, he pops it up. West coming over to have a look, but he's going to run out of room, and it's 0-1.
If you're Swain standing on second base, if the second baseman comes in, that's the one you can see. But from the dugout, if there's a shortstop coming behind him, someone has to let him know. If you're out at second base, you can't look behind you at the shortstop.
Next pitch, again, hit in the air. Short right field. In fact, it's the first baseman, West, going out. Just a few steps out onto the grass, makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, a walk, and 2 men left on base. We are done with 6, still tied at 3. We'll go to the 7th in a 3-3 tie. This is the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championships, brought to you by Signature Real Estate on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
Freeway Tire offers a nationwide service protection plan that covers service parts and labor on select systems, keeping your vehicle on the road. Plus, it includes coverage for towing, lockout service, flat tire changing, fuel, oil, and water delivery service, and jump starts. Knowing that your vehicle is covered at over 50,000 dealer locations nationwide provides that peace of mind wherever you are. Get the details. Visit Freeway Tire and ask about the service protection plan. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Western Wyoming Beverages has been proudly owned and operated in Wyoming for over 50 years, providing reliable service, friendly staff, and the nation's top beverage products, including Pepsi. We always strive to be the premier business partner for our customers. Western Wyoming Beverages services Rock Springs, Green River, Jackson, Evanston, Kemmer, Pinedale, Wamsutter, Big Piney, Mountain View, and Lyman. Go Red Devils!
Well, we reached the 7th inning. As we go to the top of the 7th, it's 8-9-1 due up here for Rocky Mountain as the first pitch to Eric Bergquist is down low, ball 1. Well, Bradley Fieser has done his job. He's reached the 7th inning as he throws his 89th pitch as it's a ground ball toward third. There with it is Tafoya. Throws it across in time for the out.
It's almost like the pitcher in the bullpen getting up and firing some pitches has really locked Fieser in, as honestly, since they started throwing out in the pen, he has been very, very good.
Well, Fieser's retired 9 in a row now, and now here is Eric Jacobson, who's walked and hit into a fielder's choice. Fieser ready, comes home in the first pitch. Again, first ball swinging, and hit it foul back into the screen.
Bradley Fieser's used to sending 9 down in a row, as he threw a perfect game earlier this year.
If you're curious, Cheyenne has the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the inning. The 0-1. Strung on and missed, and it's 0-2. He certainly looked like he's gotten stronger as the game's gone on. So 0-2 here on Jacobson. As Fieser ready again and comes home with the 0-2. Chases it out of the zone. Another strikeout. And that's the second out of the inning.
That was a nice fastball up and away. A really good 0-2 pitch as he gets the chase. And that's why you throw it there 0-2. Not really a chance to. It's going to be very hard for the hitter to do anything with that pitch.
5th strikeout of the game for Fieser. 10 in a row retired. Back to the top of the order, and Kieran Lawing at the plate. Breaking pitch. Drops it on the inside half, and it's 0-1.
It's a real good curveball to start Lawing off.
Lawing hitting from the right side. He's 0 for 3. Struck out, lined out, grounded out. And hits his ball on the ground. One hop to Tafoya. And for the 3rd inning in a row, Tafoya, I should say, Freezing, has set the side down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And as we mentioned,
Coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning for Cheyenne, it's Tafoya, McAnally, and Romero. We'll go there as we thank our folks again from Signature Real Estate Group for help bringing us the game. You're on it here on K-Ray and on mylocalradio.com.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today. 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Three tie as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning as Bradley Feeser certainly did his job. As now he hands it over to the offense and just kind of looks at him and says, go get him, boys. In this 3-3 tie as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Top of the order due up here for Cheyenne. And the first pitch to Mason Tafoya is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Tafoya with a couple of hits, struck out. He's 2 for 3 as he pulls one into left field. Base hit, his 3rd hit of the game.
Yeah, we talked about earlier in the day that the top of the order struggled a little bit coming into this ball game. Mason Tafoya must have hurt us as he's got 3 hits in the ball game. And a good opportunity here with the Double-A State Player of the Year standing in the batter's box.
Tafoya has 3 hits. The team has 7. And here is Coulter McAnally, who has 1 hit in 3 at-bats. He's singled in the first, and he's flown out a couple of times since then. As the breaking pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1.
It's interesting to see what they do here. The book says bunt, but the book also doesn't know that's the Double-A State Player of the Year standing in the batter's box.
As the pitch popped up over on the first base side, giving chase is West and foul ground, and stumbles and makes the catch.
What a play that was, over the shoulder trying to track that baseball. Is able to steal it out there.
He got to the seam between the natural surface on the infield and the grass in the outfield and kind of tripped and stumbled over it, but still was able to make the catch and hang on to the ball. Heck of a play. Here's Julian Romero, who's 0 for 3 as the first pitch from West is outside. He's flown out, fouled out, and hit into an error.
Like to see Romero grind this at bat out. See, you can force that pitch count to Frank.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That misses outside, ball 2-0.
As the next pitch from Frank will be his 100th of the game. The limit is 105.
Romero back up there from the left side. Tafoya with a cautious lead over at first. And the 2-0 pitch is over for a strike. It's 2-1. It doesn't look like Cheyenne wants to try to manufacture a run. They got Tafoya over at first with a fairly cautious lead over there, even though he's stolen several bases. As that ball is hit in the air toward right center field. Jacobson on the run. It's going to be off the wall. Here comes Tafoya running all the way as he'll score, and Cheyenne wins it 4-3.
Man, we talked about Julian Romero. Everything he hits has been a double, and right there he crushes that ball to right center field as that wins it for the Cheyenne Post Sixers. Will go to the My Local Rodeo replay as that ball was absolutely pelted into right center field. As Romero would have made it all the way to third if circumstances were different. Instead, I believe he'll end up with a walk-off double.
So the leadoff single by Tafoya. 1 out later, Romero with the extra base hit to drive the run in. And the matchup that everybody wanted, Cheyenne versus Gillette, they're certainly going to get it coming up in about 45 minutes. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have the wrap-up. Final totals for you coming up right after this as Cheyenne knocks off Rocky Mountain 4-3 in the first game of the AA Northwest Region Baseball Championship
Do something
Sunday.
good for yourself. Do something good for yourself. Give your home a new look. At Kazine's Furniture in Evanston, their friendly staff will help you make your home a peaceful and beautiful place to be. Comfortable furniture, appliances, artwork, lighting, and accessories work together to create an enjoyable and inviting atmosphere in your home. Make your living and sleeping space a wonderful place to be. With brands like Serta, Ashley, GE, and more, visit Kazine's Furniture at 941 Front Street in Evanston.
Dad, I heard that human eyes can distinguish between 1 to 10 million different colors. Is that true?
That is true. The human eye is amazing. We use our eyes not only to work and learn, but also to simply enjoy the beauty that surrounds us. At Uinta Eye and Vision, we care about each individual's eye health needs. Whether a person is looking for computer glasses, polarized sunglasses to assist in outdoor hobbies, contact lenses, or has general eye health needs, we are here to listen to our patients' thoughts and concerns to help them enjoy their amazing eyes.
Call today to schedule an appointment. 789-3937.
You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Get a degree or certification. Earn your high school GED. Get job skills. Become CPR certified. Or use our free 3D printers and tools. These are just a few of the opportunities available at Uinta BOCES number 1. Call 307-789-5742 to learn more.
Welcome back to the post-game show as Cheyenne pushes across the run at the bottom of the 7th inning and knocks off the Rocky Mountain Lobos 4-3, Aaron, in what was a great game.
Yeah, this game was to play in the championship game, and man, you wouldn't expect anything else as 4-3 the final score, and it was an incredible game throughout. We saw a lot of good defense, a lot of good pitching, a lot of timely hitting as we saw in that last inning, and what more could you ask for in a baseball game?
Final totals for Cheyenne to win it: 4 runs on 8 hits and an error. Fort Collins, 3 runs on 3 hits. They also had 1 error. And hats off to Bradley Fieser, who ended up retiring the last 10 men to really give his team a boost and give them a chance to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Fieser, you struggled a bit against Pocatello. They hit him pretty well. And then coming out in this game, it looked like a little bit more of the same as a couple of hits. They pushed across a couple of runs early in the game, but he does what an ace does, settles in nicely and gives his team an opportunity to win the game. He's going to pick up the W on the mound for it.
Time of the game, 1 hour and 41 minutes, and that is your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap for today. Our Dr. McKay Frankham precision play of the game. It's got to be that walk-off triple by Julian Romero.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about Romero being hot coming into the game. He stays hot, and when his team needed him the most, he drove that ball in the right center field. As what an incredible way if you're Cheyenne to head into the championship game with a ton of momentum.
And our Pepsi player of the game, well, you know, he bobbed, he weaved, he did everything he had to do to stay in the game. But Bradley Fieser ends up picking up the win by retiring the last 10 men, which we've mentioned.
Yeah, we mentioned how short his leash was. You can't really pull on the leash when there's no one on base, so he kept going, and just kept collecting outs, and don't look now, he throws a complete game.
Yep, exactly. So history will be made here today as the first ever representative from the state of Wyoming will go to the American Legion World Series next week, as the Cheyenne will face Gillette, and the winner goes there. And no one has ever gone from the state of Wyoming before, so history will be made coming up over the next couple of hours. The nightcap of the doubleheader, the championship game of the tournament, coming up in about 45 minutes from now. We'll come back in just a little bit, and we'll have the game. For Aaron Poling and for our producer-engineer, Elon Olaf, I'm Dan Hubbard. Thanks for joining us. Come back for the championship game as the final in this one. Cheyenne beats Rocky Mountain by the final score of 4-3. We'll talk to you again coming up in about 35 minutes from now.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.